have guests on our couch. Conversations go on longer than expected. I never mind, though, because we just share more on another day. Back in October, Snoop Dogg was here. He was promoting all sorts of things. His new brand of gin called Still Gin. His docu-series on E! Snoop's fatherhood, Corey and Wayne's story. He's even working on some new music. And man, what I've heard sounds incredible. No wonder we had no time, though, on the show to actually get to all of the discoveries about Snoop. There are so many things going on, but check this out. You're from California. I'm confused, though, because I was watching football the other day, and you're like a huge Steelers fan.
Yes.
Which doesn't add up for me. So, like, wait, when did this happen?
In the 70s.
Okay.
When I was a kid, you know, I was watching the Steelers of the 74, 75, 76. Those Steelers back in that time, they played with a different intensity. And as a kid, it was a commercial that Mean Joe Green had. And Mean Joe Green, it was a kid that met him in the walkway, and the kid gave him his drink, and Mean Joe gave him his jersey. It's like, it's stuff like that that stayed with me as a kid, and I'm loyal, so I've always been a Steeler fan, and I'm gonna stay one till I leave.
Yeah. I love it. I saw you, I was like, is he not from California? I'm loyal as well, because I'm a Cowboys fan, and if you're still a Cowboys fan, that's loyal. It's been a minute, Snoop. I have to ask you, how did you end up going by Snoop? I don't think I know. I know Snoopy came into play for a minute, right? Is that why?
Yeah, well, as a kid, I watched Charlie Brown. Yeah, you know, Charlie Brown was one of my favorites. And I watched Snoopy so much, my mother was like, you watch him so damn much, you starting to look like him. and I swear to you, my whole life, I had 50 years with my mother, right? And she never called me by my real name a day in her life. She called me Snoopy, Snoopy, Snoopy. That's it, that's all.
That's so cute. Do your kids call you Snoopy? Or what are they like? Well, I just imagine in my dream movie they do.
My daughter calls me Dad.
That's normal.
My youngest son called me Pop.
Okay.
And my oldest son called me when he needs some money.
That's how it goes. So is it true that the French have a unique way of saying your name? Like, how did they pronounce it when you were there?
What, my name in French?
Yeah. How would they, whenever you were over there?
Snoopy, Snoopy-Doo.
Snoopy-Doo.
You hear everything, you know, and I gotta react to it. I gotta act like it's cool. Hey, what's going on?
That's totally normal, what you just said. So what other genres would you want to try? Or are there any limits? Because people come on here and they're like, man, you cover so many different genres of music you're nervous to. And I'm like, nope, and I screw it up and I don't care sometimes, you know. But it's just fun to kind of try it.
I think, honestly, what I really want to do is like classical music, because there's no words involved.
Oh, no, I thought you meant like opera. Oh, okay, classical, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because like, that's the same vein. Opera is just the words on top of the classical music. I'm saying I would love to make music that speaks to you without words. I went to a play once upon a time, and the music that they was playing, this lady I was sitting next to, she was just crying. I'm like, what the f she crying for? And she like, this is the part of the song where he kills his father and this and that. I'm like, I didn't hear no words.
Yeah.
But it's some of those, you know, those great stories from way back in the days, how the music tells the story of Macbeth or whatever the is. I don't know what it is, but I would love to tell a story musically without words, but the music, you can feel the words, if that makes sense.
What artists do you love that people would be surprised that's like on your playlist?
Damn, what was I just listening to?
Because in my brain movie, you were just backstage just jamming to Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. You were just like, please, please. Like, that's what's going on in here.
Honestly, you can come in my dressing room and hear some music from the 1920s. You may hear some from the 80s. You may hear some rock music. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what love is.
Yes.
You may hear everything in my dressing room, because I'm like, I'm based off the mood, whatever the mood is. You know what I'm saying?
That's not BS, because when we did that show together, Made Song Contest, we were back there. There would be so many different artists, and I would turn around, and he is the most random stuff was going on stage musically, like all like back to back, and you were vibing with all of it. You were like, "Wait, do you hear that?" And I was like, "I don't know if I hear what you're hearing exactly, but yeah, you really do. You just love music."
I do. I was raised in an era where music dictated everything. As a kid, going to school, we heard music every day. We heard music on the radio station, music at home, music in cars that drove by. And then once music was easy to get access to making it, we was definitely influenced by all these different genres of music, and we wanted to make great music, so you have to know what great music sounds like. And great music is not in one genre, it's everywhere.
I agree.